So today on Is It Worth It, we've got the brand new Kia Niro EV. Yes, that little Korean subcompact SUV is now in its second generation. It's not called the Niro anymore, no. It's called the Niro EV, but we're going to give it a full test drive and review, show you some of the little differences on the video. No, actually, I'll forget that. I'll show you one now quickly. We've even got the charging port at the front, but there's many more. Anyway, please stay tuned. Hope you enjoy the video, and let's get right to it. So the Niro model was first unveiled at the Frankfurt Motor Show way back in 2013 and designed by Peter Schreier, famous German car designer. Then it came into production in 2016 and was made famous for its hybrid variants. And then in 2018 it got a facelift, and now in 2022 we've got this second generation full EV model, and it uses Kia or Hyundai, remember they're both sister companies. They use the K3 platform, which is actually boasting a lower center of gravity, so better handling. So let's talk about the front design on the Kia Niro EV, and as you can see, what's quite striking is these first wraparound daytime LED headlights, and they're quite nice. This design here is meant to replicate a heartbeat pulse. So there's a bit of differences between the older generation, but also it fits in with the family as well. It looks similar to the Kia Sportage. And as you can see, the Kia Digital Tiger Nose runs from the lower bonnet to the front fenders, and it's kind of squashed in the middle here. But you've still got the Tiger Nose there, just with this hectagonal pattern here, and you've got the nice big bulbous Kia badge on the front. So yeah, I think people would know straight away what car you're in once they see it coming. So let's talk about the side profile on the Kia Niro EV. This is the entry-level spec we've got, and this is the level 2 trim. You've actually got 3 trims, 2, 3 and 4, so this is the very basic spec, and you've got 17-inch alloy wheels on the electric car. What I do like here as well, I've highlighted here with the indicator, is you've actually got a nice little boomerang style heartbeat sensor design on the wing mirrors as well. Again, midnight black, and you've got keyless entry, so you can walk up to it without having to open the keys on here on the side. And got a little bit of a plastic panel on the side here. On the side of the Kia Niro EV, what you'll notice is, might be a good thing really, not many people were 100% keen on it, was the new design feature was the C-pillar air blade, which has air rushing free, but you do get the air blade, you just don't get the actual C-pillar effect on it. But again, that's in higher trims as well. What I'll do is just try and show you the air blade or the C-pillar, which was here. Don't know if I can show you with the camera, it's quite annoying, but yeah, that hole there, that serves a purpose. That's meant to reduce drag and road noise, and air goes all the way through there to the other side. So let's talk about the design on the rear, and as you can see, the very big standout feature to me is the boomerang headlights. They kind of pop out at the back as well, so they stand out really nice. Got a reversing camera here hidden just under the Kia badge. And also, you've got a spoiler, an overhanging spoiler with a huge LED braking light, so that stands out as well. What I do like, but it can be a bit, well, I wish they could do it, is this glass. It curves right under that spoiler, and it looks like this could be a twin opening boot, but it's not with this prominent line here. Instead, it's just one boot that you open up. Maybe that's just my interpretation, but it'd be good if you could open that hatch as well. So let's take a look in the boot. And what I like first off is how low the boot entry is. You can just sit here, have a cup of coffee or whatever on your weekends. But yes, I do like how flat the load lift is. There's not a very high rise and low lift, and that's thanks to this here. You get the floor liner included, but also underneath there's a lot of space here. They do fit your compression kit, it's not a spare tyre. But yeah, I think space in the back's really good actually. And you've got a parcel shelf, and the seats do fold all the way back as well. Got little cubby holes here at the side, if I just show you here. We've also got little cubby holes at the side here to shove some bits and bobs in, but I'll show you how deep that goes down. If you take the floor filler out, there you go, it's quite deep. So that's the boot space of the Kia Niro EV. So let's take a quick look at the specs. This second generation EV Niro is 65mm longer and 10mm wider and taller than the previous model. Just like the previous all-electric e-Niro, you can get this latest model in full plug-in and self-charging hybrid variants. You have 3 trim levels to choose from, the 2, 3 and the 4, and all come with front-wheel drive as standard. If you are looking for the entry-level 2 trim though,
Bear in mind that you don't get vehicle-to-load technology, meaning you can't charge external appliances off your car, and you don't get any electric-powered tailgate either. The EV Niro has a 64.8 kilowatt lithium-ion battery and a 150 kilowatt motor, which is powered together through a single-speed automatic transmission, giving 201 brake horsepower, 255 Nm of torque, and a top speed of 103 miles per hour, and a 0 to 62 time is 7.8 seconds. Range, you're looking at 285 miles, and charging times on a slow charger with a 3-pin socket at home is 28 hours. A home wall box charger on a 74 kilowatt charger is 7 to 8 hours, and on the DC rapid charger, 100 kilowatt charger is 45 minutes.
So what's the interior like inside the Kia Niro EV? And first off, being an electric car, you don't have that transmission tunnel, so you've got a lot of legroom and it's very spacious inside. Your visibility is great, the rear visibility is perfect, probably the best I've seen in an electric car to date. And I like how high up you are. You can really, personalize your driving height, and the steering wheel, you can move that back and forth. Nice big prominent leather steering wheel. Now the key thing with this interior, more than any other Kias before, is the eco-friendliness of the interior materials. They're all made out of recycled fabric. For instance, the cover that the manual comes in is made from this recycled fabric as well. It looks like something like an Indian would use, like pelt. It's pretty nice actually, it's pretty cool. So there's just little differences inside. Other than that, you've got an 8-inch touchscreen, again very basic and bland. Of course you can use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with that. And in the middle again, you've got a digital cluster, which is quite vibrant, and it gives you your mileage and battery status, so that's very good as well. Now the driving modes that you've got with the electric is Sport, and you can change it on the steering wheel, which is cool. You've got Sport, Normal and Eco. But in the middle here, you've got space for a normal USB-C, and you've got a 12-volt socket there. And of course, you've got the normal click wheel that you get most new electric Kias now. You've got the reverse, neutral and drive. The good thing though is you're reversing cameras, but the resolution on the camera and the screen just seems a little bit low. The touchscreen is responsive and it works fine. However, it just looks very bland and doesn't really blow you away when you would expect that from an electric car. The resolution on the screen is very low. It looks like an old Android phone really, and you don't really get much in terms of color. It's just very bland black and red. So yeah, a little disappointing in that regard. In fact, I drive a Kia Ceed Estate and that's 2018, and the resolution potentially looks better than this. So you've got two air vents here in the middle, and just below here you've got your digital band. I do like this, it's in the Kia EV6 and the Sportage. You've got the best of both, I'd say. You've got tactile buttons as well as being touch sensitive buttons. They're very responsive and easy to use. Here's your fan there. You've got USB-C, USB port there and a 12-volt socket, cubby hole there to put your coins in. And of course here you've got your reversing camera, your parking mode, reverse, neutral and drive, and auto hold, power on and off, and your parking brake. On the side you've got nice little chrome and plastic detailing with a bit of rubber on the dash, so it's very nice, it looks unique, and even though it's made from these recycled plastic, it feels quite well made. I'd think anyone looking for an electric car would like to be blown away by the interior as well. This just doesn't do it. It's just very bland and basic. It just, yeah, it feels okay, but I'd definitely up to the better trim. When I first looked at this car, you can also see the first impressions video if you click there. It had neon lighting, it looked fabulous. I didn't want to get out, it was brilliant. It really stood it apart from anything else Kia has thrown out there, such as Sportage or the EV6. It had its own uniqueness. So what's the practicality like inside the Kia Niro EV? Well, first off, what I want to say is how easy it is to get in and out of the door. Very easy and accessible to get in. The doors go all the way wide as well. So yeah, that's very good. The only issue we've got though is the plastics all around in the back. They're just very hard. And they're not very pleasant. I mean, kind of scraping your knees sometimes on them as well. And that kind of brings me to the legroom. The legroom is okay. It's not too bad. And because you're in an electric car, you've got a lot of legroom here because there's no transmission tunnel. And also where the battery's placed, you're actually seated a little bit higher than your front passengers as well. It's okay, but it's not the best. In the middle, you don't get any sort of air conditioning. You get 2 USB-C ports on either side of the front passenger seats, which is good. But in the middle console, you don't get anything. There's no extra USB or fan controls there. You've got your armrest here, which you can use. No ski hatch. And headroom, yeah, it's good because of that shaped oval design. So headroom's pretty good as well. So yeah, I think you'd be quite comfortable here in long journeys, but the middle passenger, your feet will be either side and you potentially rubbing on these hard plastics.
So what's the new EV Niro like to drive? And first off, the driving position is excellent. It's not too high and it gives you good visibility both at the front and the rear. When you put your foot down and you start to accelerate, you feel the instantaneous torque as you would expect from an electric car, but it's not massively powerful, but it's enough to get you from 0 to 60 in 7 or so seconds, which is pretty decent for a family car. The acceleration is smooth and the front wheels don't feel overwhelmed with the amount of torque on offer, as its power delivery through that single speed automatic works rather well. It's not massively exhilarating or exciting to drive, but you can definitely try it on some B roads with the 3 modes you've got. You have Eco, Comfort and Sport, and the latter just sharpens the acceleration response a bit, but you don't really notice, or there's not much of a huge difference. Sticking to main roads though, the Niro grips rather well surprisingly, and the steering feels relatively well weighted with adequate feedback. The Niro corners pretty well also around tight bends, especially considering the added weight of the battery. It gives a lively lean around bends, but overall makes a relaxing ride. The suspension is soft and supple. It's not a floating, luxurious feel. Road noise isn't as quiet as I'd thought it would be, especially with the new improved aerodynamics and fan blade on the side, but it's nothing really noticeable or out of the ordinary. If you want to get the most efficient drive, you can stick it in Eco mode and select from 5 regenerative braking modes using the flappy paddles on the steering. From coasting and even slowing down fully to a near stop without having to use your brakes. In terms of range, not much has changed though, as it's only a 3-mile increase from the previous model. You do feel though this is a step up from the old Niro. It drives better and offers you more space and features, plus you get Kia's 7-year warranty. It's just not that thrilling to drive though.
So let's wrap up this video review on the new 2022 Kia Niro EV. I do like how you potentially don't need to go for the full-size Sportage for an SUV. You can get this. You do get some vibes in terms of driving from the EV6 and also in terms of looks from the Sportage, so potentially you get a little bit of both. However, in terms of trim, it's quite obvious they want you to go for the 3rd or 4th trim levels, and that's where prices can get a little bit more expensive. A massive shout out and thank you to the RRG group of Kia Berry for letting us review this new Kia EV Niro. If you are interested or would even like to book a test drive, links will be left in the description below. Let us know in the comments below what you think of this Kia Niro EV. We'd like to know what you think. Your vote does count. Even if it's a thumbs up, we'd really appreciate it, just to let us know you've enjoyed the video and also what you think of this car. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm Jack from Is It Worth It, and look forward to seeing you on the next one.